Hi students, I welcome you all for control system lectures. In the previous class, we have discussed what are time domain specifications, and we have derived expression for different time domain specifications like delay time, rise time, peak time, settling time, peak overshoot, etc. And today's class, we are going to discuss what is steady state error. As the name suggests, steady state is the state of the system which was constant over a period of time, right? So we are dealing with the error, constant error over a period of time. So it is titled as steady state error. So let us consider an example. Here, if you are giving a step input to some system, and if you can observe the response in this way, like if you can get the difference of actual value to the true value, so expected value to the true value, that is measured value, which was constant over a period, then the difference is referred as the steady state error, right? So a steady state error is a difference between input and the output of closed loop response when the time tends to infinity. Time tends to infinity, right? In this plot, the expected response is 1, but the obtained response is deviating a little bit from desired value. So this kind of offset, if you are getting in a response, this difference is referred as a steady state error. So mathematically, the steady state error is a limit t tends to infinity, e of t, that is error, error in time is difference of the set point r of t minus c of t, right? It is a difference of r of t and c of t. Okay, let us consider a closed loop system and derive the expression for error, right? So the closed loop system is given here. If you see the error is nothing but the difference of r of s minus b of s h of s, right? So here error signal is nothing but um, E of s is equal to r of s minus b of s. What is b of s actually? So b of s is the combination of h of s and c of s, right? The measured value, current measured value at the feedback gain h of s would give you b of s. So this is equal to r of s minus h of s into c of s, right? So if you observe the response current instant, if you are calculating current output, c of s is given as g of s into e of s, current instant, right? C of s is equal to g of s into e of s. Okay, so we'll substitute this c of s here. R of s is equal to e of s is equal to r of s minus h of s into g of s into e of s. Okay, so here actually you have e of s, and on left hand side we have e of s. So we'll send this e of s on left hand side, e of s, and we'll take common of it. E of s common, 1 minus, it is minus actually. When it goes to on left hand side, it will be plus actually, right? uh, h of s into g of s equal to r of s. Okay, so e of s is r of s by 1 plus g of s h of s. E of s is equal to r of s by 1 plus h of s into g of s, right? This is the expression for error. Okay, but if you observe this error, we have derived for Laplace in Laplace domain. So what we want is in time domain, because the response we are checking is in time domain. So what we need to do, inverse Laplace, right? E of t is equal to inverse Laplace of E of s. That is inverse Laplace of R of s by 1 plus G of s H of s. So the steady state error actually defined as E of t when time tends to infinity. That implies E of steady state error is the error that will be a difference of, so if you plot this, the difference, suppose this is the step time, this is the difference, this is nothing but ESS, steady state error. That is limit t tends to infinity E of t, right? By using a final value theorem, we'll be discussing what is final value theorem in the future classes. And just remember, for time being, using a time final value theorem, if f of s is equal to Laplace transform of f of t, then limit t tends to infinity f of t is equal to limit s tends to infinity, sorry, when t tends to infinity s tends to 0 actually. When t tends to infinity, in a Laplace domain s tends to 0, right? We'll derive this expression using final value theorem, but for time being you just remember this. When t is tending to infinity, s will be tending to 0. So what we get is limit s tends to 0 s into f of s. So steady state error ESS is equal to limit s tends to 0 s into E of s for error, right? For error s is equal to, for error E of s, steady state error is limit s tends to 0 s into E of s. So that is equal to, substitute E of s here, limit s tends to 0 s into R of s divided by 1 plus G of s H of s. So this is the expression for a steady state error. The expression for steady state error, right? Now actually, if you observe the steady state error, this is actually once the system gets settled, whatever the difference we are getting, we are referring as steady state error. And the error could be dynamic also. Suppose if your set point we are taking is a suppose we are set, in our case we are taking set point as a steady state like step, right? If you are having a random set point or a varying set point, right? At that time, say if your set point itself is like this, somewhere like this, and your reference is like this, going randomly, right? At every instant of time, this error will be different. It is not static. It is actually dynamic, varying error. Here actually once the system gets settled, whatever error you are calculating, that is actually static error. If your error is varying, or if you get this kind of response throughout the system, throughout the time, so at every point if you calculate the error will be different, not same, right? So this kind of errors, if you is referred as dynamic errors. This kind of errors is referred as static errors, right? So now we'll start deriving the static error constants. The topic is static error constants, right? Once we started from the initial state of the subject, initial part of the subject, we are discussing on position, position, velocity, and acceleration, right? Acceleration. So position, integrate the position, you'll get velocity. Integrate the velocity, you'll get acceleration. If you want to do it in a reverse way, if you are going, you have to take derivation, right? And you are going backside. I mean, when you are taking velocity and representing in terms of position, you have to take differentiation, either it is with respect to time or with respect to position actually, right? So this is what we are seeing from the initial part of our subject. So here what we do, we'll start deriving expressions for position, velocity and acceleration with respect to inputs actually, right? So the topic is static error constants. Static error constants. So initially we'll start with the position error constant, right? Position error constant Kp, because this constant is Kp. P is position, right? So steady state error of a system for unit step input is called a position error. If you consider a system with just a step input, if you are getting a kind of this response, right? ESS. So this difference, and since you are applying a step input, the response whatever you are getting is actually the position error constant, right? So what is the Laplace transform of step or of s is equal to 1 by s, right? So as we derived the expression for steady state error of p, because we are calculating for position, is equal to limit s tends to 0 s into r of s by 1 plus g of s h of s. So we know r of s is 1 by s. Substitute r of s in ESS, steady state error. Okay. R of s is equal to 1 by s. So s will be in the denominator, s will get cancelled out. What we get is 1 by 1 plus limit s tends to 0 g of s h of s. G of s h of s. Okay. So this whole thing will refer this whole thing as Kp, right? Static error constant for position, right? So this is equal to 1 by 1 plus Kp. Okay, this is ESS, error for position. Okay. When you take a unity feedback system, what happens? Unity feedback means h of s is equal to 1. So that time Kp is equal to limit s tends to g of s alone. Right? When you are h of s is equal to 0 for unity feedback, h of s is equal to 1 actually. Unity feedback means feedback will be 1. So then whatever the Kp value is, only limit s tends to 0, only g of s. Isn't it? So this is the expression for the position. Right? Now we'll calculate velocity error constant. Velocity error constant will be obtained. Second one is velocity error constant. See, velocity is actually what? Velocity you get when the position or displacement, if you are integrate to get velocity. So what is the integration of step? Step input integration is actually ramp. We discussed in the first class actually. If you remember the first class, if you are having a step input and if you are integrating the step input, what you get is a ramp input, right? So when you're calculating a velocity error constant, what you need to apply for the system is a ramp input, and whatever the steady state error you are getting for ramp input, this error ESS, this is referred as velocity error constant, right? So ESS is as simple as that. We know ESS is equal to S into R of S, uh, limit S tends to 0. Sorry, I don't have space here. I'll just take some little space. S is equal to limit S tends to 0, S into R of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S, right? So what is R of S here? We are taking ramp. Ramp input, what is R of S for ramp input? R of S is equal to 1 by S square. If you didn't remember this expression, you can just refer the first unit. We have derived the expression for ramp input, right? We got R of S is equal to 1 by S square. Substitute it in the steady state error. Limit S tends to 0, S into 1 by S square divided by 1 plus G of S, H of S. S and S will cancel out, and this, since it is in the denominator, we'll send it down. What happens? What we get is limit S tends to 0, 1 by S plus S into G of S, H of S. Isn't it? So then what we need to get here is S tends to 0. So what if you substitute S equal to 0? Here, apart from the system G of S, we have another S here. As the limit tends to 0, what we get, if you are substituting S equal to 0 here, this will become 0, and whatever we are getting here is 1 by limit S tends to 0, right? S into G of S, H of S. I'm not giving the limit S tends to 0 for this, right? Only I am substituting S tends to 0 for this expression. I want to make it 0 since no other terms are left here, right? So this is equal to 1 by kV. By kV, kV because we are calculating error constant for velocity, right? So what is kV? kV is nothing but this, limit S tends to 0, S into G of S, H of S. For unity feedback, H of S will be 1, so you'll get only this. Okay, so now we'll go with the acceleration. Right, the expression for third one is acceleration error constant, Ka. Okay, so as we discussed, uh, position integrate, you'll get velocity, again integrate, you get acceleration. Similarly for the inputs, step input, integrate, you'll get ramp, again integrate, you get parabolic, right? So this actually we discussed in the first class, first unit. If you have any doubts in this, how these expressions are obtained, you can just refer the videos of first unit. Okay, so what is integration of ramp? Actually ramp is 1 by S square, again integration is 1 by S, again multiply 1 by S, that is R of S is equal to 1 by S cube. Same thing we need to do again. We know the expression for steady state error, ESS. We know ESS is equal to limit S tends to 0, S into R of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. Substitute R of S here. What we get is SS will get cancelled out and we'll get S square in the denominator term, right? So I'll directly write it here. S tends to 0, 1 by s square plus s square into g of s h of s. So again, the same step, just substitute s equal to 0 in this expression, apart from g of s h of s, because g of s h of s, we don't know what exactly the transfer functions, but here if you see, there is only s term here. So we can substitute a limit to that, and limit s tends to 0, s square into g of s h of s. This is nothing but 1 by ka. Right? For unity feedback, h is equal to 1. So what we get is s square into g of s as ka for unity feedback. Unity feedback, h of s is equal to 1. Therefore, ka is equal to limit s tends to 0, s square into g of s. This is expression for acceleration. Acceleration error constant. Okay. So now the important topic here is once we get these kind of errors, we need to actually check with poles and zeros of the system. See, any transfer function, any Laplace domain like transfer function, uh, we need to refer the transfer function in terms of poles and zeros actually, right? So if you represent the transfer function in terms of poles and zeros, g of s into something u of t r without input, we'll write it down here, is equal to k into s plus z1 into s plus z2 into s plus z3, so on, divided by s plus p1 into s plus p2 into s plus p3, so on. Here, this is the representation of transfer function in terms of zeros and poles. So what is this zero? What is this pole? Will be discuss. We'll discuss. But now, as of now, for time being, you just remember when the transfer function is written in this way, s plus something into s plus something into s plus something. So these are numerator terms are referred as poles, denominator terms are referred as zeros, and k as a constant, right? Then actually we'll take here Sn, right? So if this is the expression you are having for feedback transfer function, right? Where z1, z2, and so on are zeros, p1, p2, so on are poles, k is constant, and Sn, here you remember Sn as actually tells the poles at origin, right? So I'll just explain you the S-plane here. We discussed in the previous class, we showed how the poles and zeros, poles located based on a zeta value, right? If you remember the last before video actually, we discussed the pole location based on zeta, -1, -2, -3, and so on, 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? I'll write it down here, 0, 0, right? So this is imaginary axis, this is the real axis. So here on the left hand side, if the system is having a poles on the left hand side, then the system is set to be stable. If the pole you are having it as an origin, then the system is critically damped or it is marginally stable. It may go to unstable or it may come back to stable. But if you're having a pole on origin, then the system is said to be marginally stable, right? Based on the pole location, will be deciding the stability of the, will be characterizing the stability of the system, right? So why I am telling this is, if you observe the equation, generalized equation for g of s, there is an s term. So this I can mention it as a p1, p2, so on, right? And this n is a number of poles at the origin. If there are no other terms for the s, if only s power is there, and whatever the n value, suppose if you have 2, so that means there are 2 poles at the origin. If s cube is there, then you have 3 poles at the origin, right? The importance of discussing this point is, based on this we'll be characterizing the types of systems. Actually Sn, uh, from Sn we'll do one thing from n. Actually, n is equal to number of poles at origin. Okay, so the number of the term Sn in the denominator represents the n poles at origin. As we discussed, if you have n is equal to 3, that means 3 poles at origin. If you have 2 poles at origin, this n tells number of poles at origin, right? If n is equal to 1, then the system is called type 1 system. Type 1. N equal to 0, type 0. Type 0. N is equal to 3, type 3. N equal to 2, type 2. So this type of systems tells what kind of input you are giving, and based on that input what is the static error you are getting, right? We'll just start deriving, then you'll understand the significance of this type 0, type 1, type 2 and type 3, right? Initially we'll start with type 0 system. Type 0 system with unity feedback. Unity feedback, type 0 system, unity feedback. Calculate ESS, steady state error. As you know, ESS is equal to limit s tends to 0, s into r of s by 1 plus g of s h of s, right? This unity feedback, if the types for the type 0 system, means the steady state error for unit step input. Type 0 means that is for unit step input, right? Unit step input. So what is we calculated this, we derived, right? For unit step, whatever ESS would attain, we have derived this expression. What we got is limit s tends to 0, yeah, r of s is equal to 1 by s. Substitute s into 1 by s divided by 1 plus g of s h of s, right? So once you calculate this expression, we already derived this expression. What we got is 1 by 1 plus kp, right? For step input, what we got is the position error, right? Error constant, position error constant. Okay, so if you see this kp is actually, if you remember, kp is limit s tends to 0 z of s for unity feedback system. Okay, so kp is equal to, in the feedback system, what we can refer g of s as s tends to 0 k into s plus z1 into s plus z2 and so on, divided by s plus p1 into s plus p2 and so on. Since this is type 0 system, there is s power 0, right? As we told, s power n is a type of a system. Like here we don't have any s here, n here, n is equal to 0. Therefore if n is equal to 0, what you get? S power 0, that is 1. So here actually s power 0, right? So what we get? Kp, if s is not there at all, just substitute this s equal to 0 in all s's here. Anyway, this is the s power 0 is 1. So leftover s we can substitute s equal to 0. I just will directly substitute it. What we get is k into z1, z2 and so on divided by p1, p2 and so on. It's equal to constant, right? There is no s term at all, so it is actually constant. So from this, what is the steady state error? Steady state error of p is equal to 1 by 1 plus k, because kp is equal to constant. That constant we can refer it as k. This whole thing we can refer it as k. So this is for case 1. In the case 2, what we need to do? We need to apply a ramp input. So for ramp input, the steady state output, if you are applying for ramp input, what you are getting is, for type 0 system, type 0 is, we know that the denominator origin n equal to 0. So steady state error ESS, case 2. Write it down again clearly. This is for case 1. Case 2, steady state error for unit ramp input. So ramp input will give you velocity error, right? ESS of V at equal to limit s tends to 0, s into 1 by s square. Why s square? Because it is ramp input. R of s is ramp. And for unity feedback, we don't have h of s. So we'll write only this term, g of s. So this is the term, and once we apply, what we got that time is 1 by kV, right? Remember that ss will get cancelled out and s will come in the denominator. Apply that limit to the s, and whatever the leftover term is, only limit s tends to 0, g of s. S into g of s. That we mentioned it as 1 by kV. So what is kV? If you are representing g of s in terms of pole 0 equation, kV is equal to limit s tends to 0, s into k into s plus z1, s plus z2 and so on, divided by s plus p1, s plus p2 and so on. So here we are getting s because once you substitute here limit, when you are this denominator, s will come here, like ss will get cancelled out and s will be multiplied with 1 and s into g of s. So s we are having here, and when we are calculating kV, that is the denominator term, we have s. So that's why we get this s here. So apply limit to the function. What we get? S, substitute s equal to 0. This whole numerator will become 0, right? So 1 by kV will become 0. kV will become 0. Therefore ESS of V, kV when it is 0, 1 by 0, that is equal to infinity. This is for the case 2. What is the case 3? Acceleration error, right? Case 3. Acceleration error. That means what? Acceleration input is parabolic input, right? Parabola, R of s is equal to 1 by s cube. Substitute in steady state error, ESS. ESS, when you substitute, what we get is ESS is equal to limit s tends to 0, s into right? S cube actually, right? S into R of S divided by 1 plus G of S, G of S, write it down clearly, 1 plus G of S, H of S. Substitute R of S is equal to 1 by S cube. What we get in the denominator is S square, right? That is equal to limit S tends to 0, 1 by S square plus S square into G of S, right? And since it is unity feedback, H of S is equal to 1. H of uh, H of S is equal to 1 for unity feedback. So this is the expression. Substitute S equal to S equal to 0. What we get here is we'll get 1 by Ka is equal to 1 by limit S tends to 0 S square into G of S. So we know Ka and substitute G of S in terms of pole zero equation. So what we get, Ka is equal to limit S tends to 0 S square into K into S plus Z1 to S plus Z2 and so on, divided by S plus Z1 P1 S plus P2, so on. Okay, so substitute apply the limit to S square. What we get again, ESS of A is equal to 1 by 0 equal to infinity, because 1 by Ka, right? Ka we have S square, applying limit it will become 0, therefore ESS is equal to infinity for this case. Similarly, for all these position, velocity and acceleration, we'll apply the type 1 system. What is type 1 system? Type 1 system is S power 1, right? In this case, what happens, G of S is equal to 1 by, K into S plus Z1 to S plus Z2, so on, S into S plus P1 into S plus P2 and so on. This is the expression for type 1 system. So we'll do cases for this system also. For case 1, what is the case 1? Step input, right? So case 1, steady state error, ESS is equal to 1 by 1 plus Kp for position. Step 1 is, case 1 is for position. So apply Kp is equal to limit Es tends to 0, G of S, H of S is equal to limit S tends to 0, K into S plus Z1, S, we'll just move this side, S plus Z2 and so on, divided by S into S plus P1 to S plus P2 and so on, right? Now what we get, substitute limit here, limit S tends to 0, so denominator term will become 0, that is equal to K into Z1 Z2 divided by 0, because applying a limit to the function, all S terms will become 0, so left over is this, and Kp will be infinity. Kp is equal to infinity. When Kp is equal to infinity, denominator is infinity, steady state error is 0, right? Substitute Kp is equal to infinity in ESS. ESS of P equal to 0 for type 1 when step input is given. Case 2, ramp input. Case 2, what if you have R of S? R of S is equal to 1 by S square. So what we know, ESS of V is equal to 1 by kV. From the expression we know that 1 by kV is equal to limit s tends to 0 s into g of s. kV is equal to limit s tends to 0 s into tends to 0 s into g of s for unity feedback system, right? And g of s is type 1 system. B of s is k into s plus z1 s plus z2 divided by s into s plus p1 s plus p2 and so on, right? Now we know s into s into g of s, so that means we have s here. S will get cancelled out. What is the term you get? K into substitute limit k into z1 z2 and so on divided by p1 p2 and so on. So what is this? This is again a constant, right? For the second case of type 1, when you are calculating velocity, it is becoming constant. That is equal to 1 by ESS. Kv become constant. ESS of V is 1 by K. Simplify. Then for parabola, what happens? R of S is equal to 1 by S cube. Case 3. Case 3. ESS of A is equal to 1 by K. So Ka is equal to limit s tends to 0 s square into g of s h of s, right? That means we know we solved this equation and we got s term, and in denominator we have only one s. This becomes 1, and our g of s it is the same expression. G of s is k into z1 s plus z1. Wait. Think some problem with the, yeah. Think this is getting hanged. Yeah, fine. So g of s is equal to k into s plus z1 s plus z2 divided by s into s plus p1 to s plus p2 and so on. Okay. So substitute what we get here, g of s. So s and s will get cancelled out, and numerator we get s. So ka becomes, when you are applying limit, ka becomes 0, isn't it? Because in numerator we got 1s, and numerator s becomes 0. So ka will become 0. K will become 0. That implies ESS of ka, even when denominator 1 by ka, right? ESS is equal to ka means actually accelerator. ESS of ESS of A is equal to 1 by Ka. That is equal to Ka is equal to 0. That means actually infinity. So this is the fourth case, third case. And similarly, when you go for a type 2 system, what we need to do? We need to take s square in the denominator. S square, origin will be squared, right? So I just give the table. Similarly, for type 2 and the type 3 systems, denominator S factor will go for 2 and 3. So I will table it here. Type of system, unit input, unit step actually. Unit step, right? Unit step is nothing but the position. Unit ramp is velocity and parabola. Parabolic is acceleration. Okay. Type 0. What we derived 1 by 1 plus kp. Because we have derived this, and what we got is infinity here. We got infinity here for type 0. Similarly, for type 1, we got 0 here. We got 1 by kv here. We got infinity here. Right? Similarly, if you solve for type 2 and type 3 systems, type 2 and type 3 systems, what we get is type 2, we get 0 here, 0 here, 1 by Ka. You can solve, we will get it the same. It is very simple. Just substitute when type 2 denominator g of s will become the s factor in the denominator will become the origin as s square. For type 3 it will be s cube. S cube, if you calculate, you will get all the 3 as 0. Right? I solved for type 0 and type 1. You can solve for type 2 and type 3. It is as simple as is solved for type 0 and type 1. Right? Here actually the static error constants are Kp, Kv and Ka. So static error constants, that means the error is static and the gains are represented as Kp, Kv and Ka. What if you have a dynamic? So main disadvantage of the static error constants are these static error constants are limited to certain inputs like step, ramp and parabolic limitation. So this is one disadvantage of static error constant. This static error constants, uh, other than these three inputs, the static error constant doesn't give any information about the steady state error. You won't get any ESS value. Other than these inputs, if you are giving, we don't get any information for that. And to know the dynamic behavior of error, for any type of input dynamic error, we need dynamic error coefficient. So since this is a static error coefficient, that is for step you will get a certain constant and the error is constant as we discussed this. And if you have certain error and the error is keep on varying over a period of time, over time period, so we need to calculate dynamic error coefficient. So that's it for the today's class. We'll see you in the next class.